Episode 4 in the Top 5 series, let's take a look at tight ends.
Welcome to the Rines Report with your host, Tristan Blake Rines.
Starting things off at number 5, Mark Andrews of the Baltimore Ravens, the unanimous MVP and Lamar Jackson's favorite threat, led the Baltimore Ravens in receptions by 18 with 64 catches, over 800 yards receiving, and 10 touchdowns. Now, he's established himself as a red zone threat for the Baltimore Ravens, but he's also a pretty solid blocker. In Greg Roman's, offensive run-heavy scheme, you can't be on the field as much as Mark Andrews is without the ability to run the ball, without the ability to, make effective blocks at the tight end position. And Mark Andrews at number 5, heading into this season, is a pretty interesting mark, not really being talked about a lot. And I think that Mark Andrews' ability to be an incredibly reliable pass catcher, Lamar Jackson's go-to threat, is what's going to help elevate his game. In the limited amount of receptions, he proved that he can pick up yards, pick up first downs, make big plays, and put the Baltimore Ravens into great positions to score, to make the most of their opportunities offensively, and then obviously help pay off the rest of the offense. Mark Andrews, one of the more reliable but less talked about tight ends in the NFL. I think he could very well fit in at that number 5 spot, and we have a number of other really good tight ends around the league, but number 5 seems pretty solid, even with the, unretiring of Rob Gronkowski coming back into the league. Just too many unknowns with Gronkowski on whether or not he's going to be as good as he was in 2018, 2017. Can he take those kind of hits? So I'm going to elect to put in Mark Andrews as my number 5 tight end heading into the 2020 NFL season. Number 4 on the list is the former Oakland, now Las Vegas Raider Darren Waller. Broke out last season after just making the roster, accounted for 90 plus catches, 1,100 plus receiving yards, and sprinkled in 3 touchdowns on the season, easily becoming Derek Carr's favorite target in the Raiders offense. Darren Waller is an incredibly fast tight end, very reliable hands, and saw a lot of targets last season. And moving forward, I absolutely expect Darren Waller to be the offensive centerpiece heading into the 2020 NFL season, which means he's still going to get a lot of targets, a lot of opportunities to score touchdowns, pick up first downs, get some yards. Even with the drafting of wide receiver Henry Ruggs by the Raiders in the first round of the NFL draft, Darren Waller brings to the Raiders offense what they absolutely need, which is a effective pass catcher that's going to make some plays in the open field. That's going to put the Raiders in some really good positions to score, even if he isn't the absolute red zone threat, the touchdown threat that the Raiders may or may not want him to be. Josh Jacobs in the backfield going to clean up and score a lot of touchdowns as well, but heavily influenced by Darren Waller's production down the field. Darren Waller will continue to be the Raiders' number 1 passing threat heading into the season, and that's what's going to land him at my number 4 spot. Number 3 on the list is Zach Ertz of the Philadelphia Eagles, Carson Wentz's most reliable and, healthiest target heading into this upcoming season. Zach Ertz has carved himself out as one of the best tight ends in the NFL, seeing the most targets among tight ends in 2019 last season. Now, those opportunities don't come without, hard work and a high level of production. Ertz putting himself over 900 yards, 88 catches last season, along with over 5 touchdowns on the season. Zach Ertz ability in the Philadelphia Eagles offense to play the run game as a pretty solid blocker, but to be a really sneaky tight end down the middle and break himself open against linebackers too fast to be covered by an average linebacker, but too big to be covered by the average safety. Ertz is one of the best pass catchers in the NFL. And that's not just saying tight ends. That's not saying just wide receivers. I'm saying Zach Ertz is one of the best pass catchers in the NFL, deserves some respect on his name, and heading into the 2020 season, I can absolutely see that remaining the case. Zach Ertz going to probably bring in over 85 catches, a ton of targets by Carson Wentz, over 900 yards, and you could very well see him around that 7 to 8 touchdown mark this season. Going to be a really nice fantasy addition, third, fourth round, some guys trying to pick up tight ends really early. But Zach Ertz, as far as my top 5 list goes, number 3 on the list among some very, very, very talented tight ends. Zach Ertz going to have a really nice 2020 NFL season. Number 2 on the list is Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs. And while he led the NFL in receptions and receiving yards, Travis Kelce was one of the most reliable threats in the Kansas City Chiefs offense, leading the team in receptions and among some really talented other players on that offense. You got Sammy Watkins, you got Mecole Hardman, you got Tyreek Hill, but Travis Kelce seems to be Patrick Mahomes' favorite target. As he gets open in the middle of the field, he has a nose for the end zone, and he's just a big, hard target to tackle. He can even go over defenders at times. Travis Kelce is one of the best tight ends in the NFL, probably, in my opinion, one of the best pass catchers as well in the NFL. And he has a nose for the end zone. And again, Patrick Mahomes is not gonna throw you the ball if you're not a reliable target. He gets open in the middle of the field in so many different ways. There's so many talented players on that offense, but Travis Kelce has been a consistent top 5, top 3 tight end for years now. And heading into 2020, he is my number 2, but not for a lack of good reason. Travis Kelce in 2020, I expect him to have, a ton of receptions. He could very well pass that 90 reception mark. He's gonna have over 1,100 receiving yards, and I wouldn't be shocked if he accumulates 10 total touchdowns on the season, be it passing and even a little bit of the running game. They like to throw him out there at fullback sometimes, so don't be surprised if Travis Kelce, as long as he stays healthy for the entire season, has a very, very, very productive season. And number 1 tight end on my list is George Kittle of the San Francisco 49ers. He's in for a massive payday coming into the 2020 NFL season. And what sets Kittle apart from his Travis Kelce comrades, his Zach Ertz, Darren Waller, and all the other tight ends in the NFL is that George Kittle is an absolute beast in the blocking game, in the running game. He's not just a one-dimensional tight end that can go over the middle and take some passes up to the end zone, because he can absolutely do that as well. But I think of him as the most complete tight end in the NFL right now. And again, we have to see how Rob Gronkowski performs. I mean, Hall of Fame tight end, blah, blah. But we're going to talk about George Kittle for a second. The most complete tight end in football. I mean, his ability in the running game is astronomical and incredibly important to the success of the San Francisco 49ers. But when he's out there on offense, his explosiveness, his speed in the open field, his ability to make guys miss on his way to the end zone, scoring a massive amount of touchdowns, is ridiculous. The guy is incredibly fast. The former Iowa Hawkeye, they seem to breed tight ends down there, is making waves in the NFL. He's one of my favorite tight ends, one of my favorite players to watch in the NFL. And George Kittle, for plenty of great reasons, is the number 1 tight end on my list heading into 2020. I mean, his ability on the offensive side of the football, his ability for the San Francisco 49ers is absolutely necessary and pivotal to their success. I expect him to have over 90 catches. He could have over 1,100 passing yards and well over 8 touchdowns on the season. But what sets him apart, once again, is his ability in the running game, how important he is setting the edge for the running backs, and I'm excited to see what he's gonna do this season. But thank you so much for watching the video. Feel free to stick around and watch some more content. Subscribe, get the bell on to know every single time I'm dropping a video. All my social medias are down in the description below. Like, comment, share, all the good stuff, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Adios.